Hello everyone, Bottles here, and welcome to the full story of What If the Gun Raid Never Happened. This is a full compilation of all 5 parts, but that doesn't mean that if you watch those episodes you shouldn't watch this video. At the end of this video, there will be a bonus epilogue part of this story that can only be heard in this video. Without further ado, let's get into the story. Hello my well-esteemed guests, Bottles here, and welcome to a brand new series that Shay64 and I are planning on starting called Sonic What Ifs, where we tweak one part of the Sonic the Hedgehog lore and give our take on what the story for the games could be with this one little tweak. We thought we'd start out with a longer one to really kick things off, and that one would be, what if the gun raid never happened? The gun raid is the most important part of Shadow's backstory. It's what killed Maria, got the Ark shut down, put Professor Gerald in jail, and some would even argue, made Dr. Eggman the villain that he is today. Let's see how removing it from the timeline would affect things. We start back 50 or so years before the present timeline up on the space colony Ark. Professor Gerald was enlisted to become one of the brilliant scientists to be sent to the space colony Ark. Professor Gerald refused at first, but after learning that his granddaughter Maria had a rare disease called neuroimmune deficiency syndrome, NIDS for short, he decided to agree. This is where he set off to create the ultimate life form, deemed Project Shadow. At the same time, Professor Gerald was working on a side project, Project Gizoid. Gunn was a little miffed that Gizoid ended up destroying a good chunk of the Ark, but saw the potential in using the tools that Professor Gerald was able to create. As a result of this, Gunn decided to enlist Professor Gerald as their main scientist to create things that would further benefit their organization and the protection of the people. Professor Gerald would agree on one condition: no weapons. The gun commander of the time, Adam Tower, would skeptically look at Gizoid.
Well, no intentional weapons, by the way.
This created a very close relationship between Professor Gerald and Adam, and they ended up creating a sort of friendship between one another. As Professor Gerald was working on Project Shadow, he was hitting a bunch of dead ends, which was when he had his collaboration with Black Doom of the Black Arms. Professor Gerald used the blood of Black Doom to finally complete his ultimate life form. The difference here is that Professor Gerald would be completely transparent with Gunn that he enlisted Black Doom's help to finish Project Shadow. Adam was furious with Professor Gerald. How could he collaborate with such a brutish alien force that none of them could possibly understand?
Ah, you underestimate me. Of course, I have a backup plan.
This is when Professor Gerald shows his blueprints for a new project, the Eclipse Cannon. Professor Gerald tells him that the Black Comet comes around every 50 years or so. We will use the Eclipse Cannon to destroy it. Problem solved.
I thought you said no weapons. Some rules are meant to be broken.
Professor Gerald goes back to the Ark and finishes the development of what we would come to know as Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow the Hedgehog would become great friends with Professor Gerald's granddaughter Maria. Now, you'd probably be surprised to hear that nothing of note really happens for a while. The gun raid never happens because Gunn and Professor Gerald understand each other. They don't fear one another. So right off the bat, Shadow never gets captured and sealed away. Maria never gets shot, and Professor Gerald never gets executed. Around 20 years later, another kid gets brought to the space colony Ark to see the grandfather he looks up to so much do his work. This child's name is Ivo Robotnik. Ivo found it so cool that his grandfather was a super cool scientist in space and he wanted to be just like him. Gerald felt no qualms about taking in his little grandson to teach him everything he knows about science. Think of him as his little assistant. This is where Ivo not only learns his amazing skills in robotics, but he also learns an implicit set of values from his dear old grandfather. Professor Gerald teaches his grandson that what they should strive for, above all else, is world peace. Ivo, through growing up on the Ark, also becomes very close with Maria and Shadow, and the son of the gun commander, Abraham Tower. This situation wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, however. Gerald noticed that, though Ivo was brilliant, one of the smartest people he has ever had the pleasure of knowing, and that's saying something since he's so young, but he also has a very logical way of thinking. Ivo is definitely a more ends justify the means type of person. Unfortunately for Gerald, Ivo also seems to have an inclination towards destruction for the common good. Ethics is not in Ivo's language, if it means scientific progress. Gerald does his best to calm these urges that Ivo seems to almost give into, but regardless, things remain peaceful. 30 years have passed, and things are considerably different nowadays. Ivo became one of the lead scientists of the Ark, working only under his grandfather. Adam Tower, though retired for a while now, has given his position to his young son, Abraham, naming him the new gun commander. Abraham wasn't the only one to join Gun, however. Seeing his potential in both wisdom, skill, and power, Shadow becomes one of Gun's top agents, way earlier than he does in the original timeline. Also joining him with her obsession with learning things about the Earth, as well as her analytical mind, which she 100% learned from her grandfather, was Maria Robotnik, becoming Abraham's main source of intel on anything that Gun needs to know to protect the Earth. Not everything is sunshine and rainbows, however, for this is the time where Professor Gerald meets his end. Being well into his 90s, Professor Gerald dies peacefully in his sleep, leaving behind a legacy of scientific breakthroughs that has done nothing but push humanity closer and closer to peace. Ivo and Abraham made the ultimate decision together to shut down the space colony Ark and move all of its research back on Earth. That way, the Ark can be preserved in Gerald's memory. Ivo, however, has a hidden motive for getting the Ark shut down. Ivo had a plan that will help him attain the world peace that his grandfather always wanted. He always found these stone things his grandfather was always researching fascinating. He had big plans for these stones, so Ivo set off to find the Chaos Emeralds. Ivo starts tracking chaos energy readings to a little-known island to the south, known only as, well, South Island. Using his prowess in robotics, he sets up base on South Island and sets up a robot factory there, to which he would adorn the name Scrap Brain Zone. Here, Ivo set up an assembly line of excavator robots that use their sensors for chaos energy to find and retrieve the Chaos Emeralds for Ivo. Robots as in tune with fighting as they are with location and retrieval, the excavator robots were deployed. Meanwhile, on the other side of the island, a very familiar blue hedgehog is running his way through the Green Hill Zone. Sonic, as he's going for his morning run, notices that the place looks absolutely wrecked. The culprit is a checkered robot called the Checker Wrecker. In canon, Eggman loves giving his robots cheeky names, and Ivo is no different. Sonic sees Checker Wrecker breaking the ground below him, really just destroying the place. Hey, hello? Could you not destroy my home, please? Checker Wrecker ignored Sonic's pleas and got what it came for. The first Chaos Emerald. Sonic sees this and immediately thinks, if this robot is willing to destroy this place to find that, it must be up to no good, and decides to engage the robot in battle. Checker Wrecker uses his body as a rolling weapon to try and flatten Sonic underneath him. Sonic makes quick work out of him, however, destroying him and obtaining the Chaos Emerald. Sonic, deciding he doesn't want this happening anywhere else on his home island, he sets off to make sure that South Island is safe. In Marble Zone, he finds another excavator, Scorch. His fire was no match for Sonic's speed, meeting his demise and Sonic getting his second Chaos Emerald. Keeping the momentum in Spring Yard, Stinger. Avoiding his spikes, Sonic wrecks him as well, getting Chaos Emerald number 3. Now, you may be wondering at this point why the story has gone in this direction. Why am I gonna have it so Sonic is fighting a bunch of new robots instead of Ivo himself? And also, why are they able to get the Chaos Emeralds this way? To answer the first question, I believe that Ivo, through his benevolence, knows that this is a bit of an unethical way to enact his plan, so he wants to try to lay low a bit. He isn't the narcissist chauvinist that he is in canon. The second question, however, I have to admit, is a bit of tweaking of the game's lore on my part. I'm treating the Chaos Emeralds in this canon like they do in Sonic Adventure, forgoing any story reason for the special stages and just letting them be game mechanics. We're going with the 8-bit Sonic logic right now, where you just find them around. Anyway, Sonic at this point is noticing a pattern. These robots keep finding them emeralds, but they must be getting them for someone. Whoever is responsible, he has to stop them. He traverses the Labyrinth Zone, taking out Maze Runner, speeds through Starlight Zone, throwing spikes back at Spiker, and Sonic finally arrives at the Scrap Brain Zone. Sonic, with 5 Chaos Emeralds in hand, comes up upon the final excavator robot, Crusher. After defeating Crusher, he obtains the 6th Chaos Emerald. Sonic runs through the factory to try and find their boss. He's gotta be here! But alas, the factory was now empty. With not much reason to keep investigating, Sonic decides to go back home. As soon as he takes a look at the 6 gems in his possession, they start acting weird. They float up into the air, and they fly off towards the west. Sonic takes this as the emeralds telling him something, so he makes his way over there. Ivo, who has now set up base on West Side Island, has been monitoring everything that has been happening. At first, mortified at how this hedgehog was stopping his efforts. This villain is stopping me from obtaining my grandfather's dream. I must stop him at all costs. Seeing that Sonic is coming towards his base that he's currently in, Ivo starts working on a bunch of attack bots to fight off the oncoming threat and take the other 6 Chaos Emeralds. Ivo looks off at the 1 Chaos Emerald he has in his possession. Soon, world peace will be obtained. Meanwhile, at Gun HQ, they start getting reports of disturbances on South Island. They notice that a lot of readings of chaos energy were being detected there, like someone was trying to unearth the Chaos Emeralds. Seeing the 6 Chaos Emeralds energy signatures moving towards West Side Island, where the 7th and final one is, Gun decides to act. With Maria over comms, Shadow the Hedgehog goes out on the field once again to investigate what these disturbances mean for the safety of the world. Sonic arrives on West Side Island on his tornado, and right away, he starts making his way through the Emerald Hill Zone. Pretty quickly though, he sees a certain two-tailed fox getting bullied by his peers. Sonic runs past them quickly, subduing them, saving Miles. Miles starts following Sonic, keeping up with him. Sonic notices this and is pretty impressed this kid could keep up with his speed. Sonic asks who he is, and he introduces himself as Miles Prower. Sonic remembers hearing the bullies call him Tails, to which Tails looks down. Yeah, that's what the bullies call me. Well, I think it's a pretty cool name. I mean, you can fly with those things. What's cooler than that? Tails gives a little smile. Have you seen some weird robots around here? One's digging up the ground or carrying a gemstone? Nah, nothing like that. But there was this really creepy factory that popped up at the end of the island. Shoot, they're here too. I gotta see what they're up to. I wanna help! What? I'm sick of being the one who's ridiculed and called a freak. I wanna become a cool hero too. Alright, but if stuff starts getting too dangerous, you have to go. Deal. And thus, the iconic duo of Sonic and Tails was born. And just like that, they're off. What they didn't know is that someone is following them very close behind.
A blue hedgehog and a two-tailed fox have been spotted where the chaos energy readings have been detected. I am in pursuit.
Sonic and Tails make their way through the Emerald Hill Zone, where they are stopped by Ivo's first attack bot.
So, you are the blue hedgehog we were programmed to destroy?
Seems like I'm famous already. Are you gonna tell me who built you, or are we gonna save that reveal for later? This is when Drillster starts his drill attacks. Sonic and Tails both make quick work of Drillster, however, not a very formidable opponent. Too easy! Sonic and Tails run off to the chemical plant zone. However, Shadow arrives on the scene and investigates the remains of Drillster.
Find anything important? The design of these robots. It can't be. They're very similar in design to Gerald's robotics. No one else could design robots like this. Unless... Ivo. But why would Ivo need the Chaos Emeralds? Maybe this hedgehog is more trouble than we thought.
Left with more questions than answers, Shadow continues to follow Sonic towards the chemical plant zone. Sonic and Tails adventure through Westside Island, defeating the attack bots along the way. They defeat Poison Drip at Chemical Plant, Iron Hammer at Aquatic Ruin Zone, Catcher at Casino Night, Scorcher Mark II at Hilltop Zone, and Digger at Mystic Cave. Pretty standard Sonic 2 deal, the only difference being that Sonic and Tails are fighting attack bots instead of Eggman. Sonic and Tails arrive to Ivo's home base on Westside Island, the Metropolis Zone, when Sonic and Tails make it to the end and beat the final attack bot, Bouncer. Sonic takes a second to catch his breath. Sonic! The guy who's behind all of this has to be here! I hope so, little buddy. Let's take a look around. Just like that, Sonic was interrupted by a gust of wind. All of a sudden, Tails' tails and legs got tied together. Before Sonic could react, he gets knocked over and held down by Shadow.
State your name.
Here I thought I was getting pretty famous. Name's Sonic the Hedgehog, and you must be tall, dark, and get off me, please.
You think you're clever, Hedgehog. What do you plan to do with the Chaos Emeralds?
The what?
The Chaos Emeralds. The gems you've collected.
I don't know what these are. I just know those land-destroying robots probably shouldn't have them if they want them.
By order of the Guardian Unit of Nations, I will be apprehending those Chaos Emeralds.
Why does everyone want these stupid rocks?
The Chaos Emeralds are 7 mystical gems that contain the most chaotic power of all. They can be used to supercharge machines. They cannot fall into the wrong hands.
How do I know you guys are to be trusted?
That's really none of your concern. I'd suggest handing over the emeralds and going home.
It's not really my style.
Then I'll have to take them from you.
Sonic and Shadow have now locked eyes and started fighting each other. Tails was watching them fight, seeing some of the fastest fighting he's ever seen. Shadow, in the middle of their fight, ends up kicking one of the Chaos Emeralds out of his possession. Shadow seizes the opportunity and takes the emerald. From this point on, the battle becomes very one-sided. With just 2 words, Shadow overtakes the battle.
Chaos Control!
Shadow starts teleporting around, hitting the rest of the Chaos Emeralds out of Sonic's possession. At this point, a tractor beam takes all of the Chaos Emeralds, including the one in Shadow's hand. Shadow is surprised. What the? That wasn't you? This is when Sonic, Shadow, and Tails hear the sound of maniacal laughter from a 4th party. Ivo finally makes his appearance, with the 6 Chaos Emeralds in hand.
You've made this so easy for me. Thank you so much, Shadow, for making the Chaos Emeralds so readily available.
Ivo, what do you need the Chaos Emeralds for?
To make my grandfather's dream finally a reality. I will use the Chaos Emeralds to power the Eclipse Cannon. Any nation in the world that thinks of starting conflict for any reason, kablooey! Soon the entire world will be too scared to start fighting and world peace will be obtained. What Grandpa Gerald always wanted will finally come to fruition!
Before Shadow knew it, Ivo was gone, headed to the Space Colony Ark. We gotta get after him! Sonic shouted, but Shadow stopped him.
No, we can't defeat him right now. He has all 7 Chaos Emeralds. He's way too powerful.
Well, we can't just let him win.
We won't.
Shadow puts his hand to his ear.
Maria, look for the location of the Master Emerald.
The Master Emerald?
Hurry, it's important. I've always lost it.
Ivo.
Sonic, Tails, and Shadow use the tornado to fly towards the coordinates that Maria had given them, a floating island called Angel Island.
We'll be sending a rookie down to help you guys out.
What? Why would we need a rookie's help?
Say what you will about her experience, but she has assured us that at one point she was a master jewel thief. She will be meeting you at the rendezvous point.
A master jewel thief, huh?
Sounds trustworthy. If she's an agent with gun like Shadow is, then she has to be an ally, right?
Like it or not, she's coming with us. So let's just make the best of it.
Sonic, Tails, and Shadow meet up on the rendezvous point right at the start of the Angel Island zone. This is where they meet their new partner for this mission, a newly recruited Rouge the Bat.
Hey boys, you must be the rookie.
Guilty.
So what is this Master Emerald that we need to find?
The Master Emerald is the gemstone that controls the Chaos Emeralds. If the Chaos Emeralds go out of control, the Master Emerald can be used to neutralize the Chaos Emeralds,
rendering them completely useless. Sonic looks ecstatic at the idea of going on this adventure. Well, what are we waiting for? Where is this thing?
According to my sources and readings, the Master Emerald is kept towards the end of the island, right past the lava reef zone in a hidden palace. Is it unguarded?
The only guardians of this gemstone were the Echidna tribe, but they died out a long time ago.
Easy peasy, no sweat! Let's grab this thing and stop Ivo. Sonic runs off with Tails following close behind. Shadow and Rouge look at each other, shrug, and run off as well. As they run through Angel Island, all of a sudden, Sonic is stopped by a red echidna bursting through the ground. Hey!
Intruders of Angel Island, leave this place now, or you will face certain death.
Sorry, dude, we can't leave without the Master Emerald.
Under no circumstance will you ever be able to take the Master Emerald.
But
under no circumstances. I warn you again, intruders. Leave now, or this will not be the last you see of me.
With that, Knuckles runs off.
Died out a long time ago, huh? We've done multiple explorations of this island and have never encountered him.
I didn't think he was that threatening. I actually thought he was kinda cute.
Let's just keep moving forward. With that, Sonic and crew started running through Angel Island. Instead of fighting Eggman or an Eggman robot like they usually do in the original game, the crew would just encounter Knuckles at the end of each zone. Sonic and crew would make their way through Angel Island, Hydrocity Zone, Marble Garden Zone, Carnival Night Zone, Ice Cap, Grass Canyon Zone, replacing the Launch Base Zone, Mushroom Hill Zone, Sandopolis Zone, skipping Flying Battery entirely, and finally, Lava Reef Zone. When Sonic and crew make it through the volcano that is known as the Lava Reef, Rouge finds the secret tunnel entrance to arrive at the Hidden Palace Zone. It's here! Sonic and crew run up to the Master Emerald, but in their way, for one final time, was Knuckles.
Stop right there. I cannot allow you to take the Master Emerald.
Listen, dude, we're not taking it for keeps. We need this to save the world.
A likely story.
Knuckles starts fighting Sonic. If you would just listen to me!
I am listening to you. You want the Master Emerald and I can't let you have it.
As Sonic is fighting Knuckles, Rouge sneaks off on her own while they're distracted. At the Master Emerald altar, Rouge is starstruck by the huge gem.
Oh my god.
Rouge uses the opportunity to take the gem.
Once the world is saved, this will be my payment.
All of a sudden, a weird noise can be heard coming from outside the hidden palace.
Oh no. We need to go outside.
I'm not done with you yet. Take us outside. The world depends on it.
I already got your gem. If you want it back, you need to do what we say.
Fine. Knuckles takes Sonic and crew to the teleporter that leads to the Sky Sanctuary. Sonic and crew look at the sky when all of a sudden, a transmission comes on over Shadow's holo communicator.
Citizens of Earth, lend me your ears. I have come to make an announcement. Do not worry. I come in peace to spread the word of world peace. I want there to be peace between nations. No more fighting, no more war, no more senseless killing. This is what my grandfather, the great Professor Gerald Robotnik, had always wanted. To make sure world peace is maintained, just look up into the sky.
Looking up into the sky, the Space Colony Ark opened up, revealing the barrel of the Eclipse Cannon. The Eclipse Cannon powers up, and then shoots its laser right at the moon. With the power of all 7 Chaos Emeralds inside the Eclipse Cannon, the power that just impacted the moon results in its complete destruction. If you don't want that to happen to your nation, you will play nice. I will not hesitate. Believe us now? He's using the Chaos Emeralds to power that laser! Knuckles thinks to himself for a moment.
Fine. You can take the Master Emerald, but I need to come with you. As its sole protector and guardian, I need to make sure it returns safely to the altar.
Ah, heck yeah! We could always use more help to save the world, right? Shadow went on his communicator.
Maria.
Shadow, Ivo, he...
I know. We already have the Master Emerald in our possession. We're heading back to the headquarters. Prepare a shuttle to get us to the Space Colony Ark.
Sonic, Shadow, and crew all make their way over to Gun HQ. As they walk through, Sonic waves to all the agents, but none of them seem to pay attention to him. Shadow finishes walking when he reaches an older man in front of him.
Commander Abraham Tower, how are the preparations for the shuttle to the Ark?
The shuttle will be ready for launch in 10 minutes. Who are these 3?
Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Sonic is an idiot that got caught up in Ivo's plans. Tails follows Sonic everywhere, and Knuckles won't leave us alone until the Master Emerald is back at Angel Island.
Wow, such great introductions.
I would recommend getting the briefing from Maria before you depart. She has extensive knowledge of the Ark, and she'll be able to tell you exactly how to get to where Ivo is headed.
Like I don't know the Ark like the back of my hand?
She wants to talk to you.
Of course.
Shadow walks over to Maria's office and looks over at Sonic.
I'll be right back.
Whatever you say. Shadow walks into the office, but not without Sonic putting his ear to the door to listen in. Maria sounded as if she was crying.
Shadow, I can't believe Ivo would do something like this. He's always been such a great soul. Why would he do something so destructive?
Ivo has always been obsessed with preserving Gerald's legacy. This is his twisted way of doing that.
He just wants to do good. We can't imprison him for his whole life.
They're going to do more than that to him if they get him.
This makes Maria sob even more than before.
We'll see what we can do. Just prepare for the worst.
Maria reluctantly nods as Shadow walks out of the room. Sonic gets back to where he originally was, and soon enough, the rocket was prepared. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, and Rouge all board the shuttle to the Space Colony Ark. With the Master Emerald in cargo, they blast in 10, 9, 8, 7, fire. The air is thick within the shuttle, which was ironic because they were in space. Sonic decided to break the ice. So, who is this Ivo anyways?
Ivo is my creator's grandson.
Your creator?
I am one of the many creations of Professor Gerald Robotnik. The old professor wanted nothing more than to bring peace and love to the world. Ivo wants so badly for Gerald's legacy to live on, but he's twisted his goals into this.
Doesn't sound like that bad of a guy.
He's threatening to obliterate entire countries.
All he wants is peace. I can get behind that. He's just going about it all wrong. He's going at it by too logical and straightforward a perspective. He's forgetting the ethical side of things. It just seems like he needs to learn the error of his ways.
I can relate to wanting to carry on a great legacy at any cost. It's a very difficult path, but a noble one.
All I know is that we need to stop him by any means necessary. Absolutely nobody needs to die, especially in Gerald's name. Let's just focus on deactivating the Eclipse Cannon. We can focus on what happens after later. Our heroes arrive at the Space Colony Ark and enter the base. Shadow and Rouge lead the way, while Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles follow closely behind, the Master Emerald in Knuckles' possession. Our heroes make their way through the cannon's core, fighting Ivo's guard robots along the way. Once they make it to the core of the Space Colony Ark, they gaze upon the Eclipse Cannon. As they run up to the Master Emerald altar, Knuckles places the Master Emerald in its spot.
The servers are the 7 Chaos. Chaos is power. Power enriched by the heart.
A roar was heard echoing throughout the Ark. A flash of light appeared before them, and teleporting into the room was the prototype of the ultimate life form herself, the Bio-Lizard.
The Bio-Lizard?
The what?
My prototype.
How did Gerald go from that to you?
Let's see you try and stop me while dealing with the all-powerful Bio-Lizard.
Ivo, how do you not see that you've gone too far?
There's no such thing as too far when it comes to science!
Sonic, Shadow, you take care of the Bio-Lizard. We'll make sure Knuckles is able to neutralize the Chaos Emeralds. This is getting really interesting now! Sonic and Shadow work together to fight the Bio-Lizard. They focus their attacks on the power supply on its back. Ivo was getting scared. He knew they were winning. If they won against the Bio-Lizard, then his plans were over. That's when he noticed Tails, Knuckles, and Rouge nearby the Master Emerald once again.
The servers are the 7 Chaos. Chaos is power. Power enriched by the heart. The controller is the one that unifies the chaos.
How magical. The Master Emerald started enacting its power onto the Chaos Emeralds, beginning to entirely neutralize them. Ivo was losing everything he worked so hard for. The Bio-Lizard was getting defeated. The Master Emerald was neutralizing the Chaos Emeralds. He was entirely out of options.
No! I won't let you destroy everything I've worked for!
Ivo hops into his Ivo-mobile, unleashes his Checker-Wrecker ball, and uses it to smash the Master Emerald into pieces. Everyone looked on in horror, especially Knuckles. The Master Emerald was just destroyed.
Yes! Nothing can stop me now!
That is when a little puddle of water emerges from the Chaos Emerald.
Ivo, what have you done? You've released Chaos!
Chaos? Chaos took on his full Zero form. Looking at his surroundings, Chaos sees the Chaos Emeralds lodged into the Eclipse Cannon, as well as senses the Chaos energy embedded within the Bio-Lizard. Not only did Chaos absorb the 7 Chaos Emeralds, he also absorbed the Bio-Lizard. The Chaos Emeralds fall, powerless, gray. Everyone needs to get out, now! A ghostly spirit shouted at them. The Ark started filling up with water. As this was going on, Ivo tried to escape, but Knuckles, with one swift punch, knocked him out. Tails, Knuckles, and Rouge take Ivo and escape to the shuttle. Sonic and Shadow stay back to try and find a way to fight the creature, but the Ark was filling up too fast with rushing water. Sonic and Shadow decide to cut their losses and escape to the shuttle. On the shuttle, a ghostly form of an Echidna girl appears before them to call. Chaos is angry. Please, you need to stop him. He will not stop until his vengeance is fulfilled. As our heroes looked towards the Ark, they saw it get completely engulfed in water, and out of the side of it, a dragon's body and head emerged. This is perfect bio-chaos. Very slowly, they started to see the Ark start to fall towards the Earth. The Ark is going to destroy the Earth! What are we gonna do? If we had the Chaos Emeralds, we could use the positive energy of them to superpower you two, and you could neutralize chaos.
Those were lost in the flood.
Not exactly. Rouge threw the Chaos Emeralds on the ground. Told you I was a master jewel thief. Let's do this! Sonic and Shadow use the power of the Chaos Emeralds to turn into Super Sonic and Super Shadow. They fly off to go and fight Perfect Bio Chaos.
I never wanted any of this. I just wanted my grandfather's legacy to shine on, attain the peace that he always wanted. This has gotten so out of hand.
You can't achieve true peace with fear. You achieve it through understanding and friendship. That's what you should be striving to achieve in the world. That is your grandfather's true legacy.
Super Sonic and Super Shadow worked perfectly in tandem together to defeat Perfect Bio Chaos. Super Sonic used his speed to make the water split so that Shadow could use his Chaos Spear attack to hit the Bio Lizard's boils. After a while of fighting, Perfect Bio Chaos finally subsided, and the water dissipated from the Ark. The problem was, the Ark was still hurtling towards the Earth. Sonic and Shadow pushed up against the Ark.
We need to use Chaos Control.
Chaos Control?
Yes, but we only have enough Chaos energy left to move the Ark back into place and teleport one of us.
Then we have to find another way.
No, this is fine. I've lived my life. Made sure others can be happy, just like Maria wanted. You, on the other hand, you're still young, and you definitely bring out happiness and camaraderie wherever you go.
We need to do it! Now! Quick!
But Shadow,
Now!
Sonic reluctantly held up his hand.
Chaos Control!
The Ark, in an instant, was teleported back into place, and Sonic appeared back on the shuttle. Shadow! Everyone looked outside, only to see the figure of Shadow falling back down to Earth. Oh my god. With that, Shadow the Hedgehog was gone. After a moment of silence, our heroes used the shuttle to return back home. Sonic and the others were dropped off back on South Island, and Rouge went back to Gun HQ to report the mission's success.
Congratulations, Agent Rouge. We knew you were the best suited for this assignment.
Shadow,
I know. He was a great agent, giving us his best for almost 40 years. We will be holding a service for him in a few days.
Rouge can sense the gun commander was a lot more upset than he was willing to show. Rouge walked into Maria's office.
Yes, Agent Rouge?
I know things are grim right now, but I thought I'd show you something to make you feel a little better.
Rouge turns on her communicator and, up on the projection, Maria sees Sonic.
Sonic?
Hey Rouge! Hey Maria! What's up?
Just thought we'd give her a quick tour of Tails' lab.
Yeah, sure.
Why would I care?
Keep watching.
Here's Tails' lab. Here's a couple of weird inventions that I have no idea what the function of them are. And here's the scientist himself. Say hi, Tails.
Hi, Maria.
And not to mention, Tails' new lab assistant. Why don't you say hi? Maria's eyes widened as she saw who this assistant was.
Hey, Maria.
Ivo? I thought you were running from the law.
Kinda? Sonic and Tails let me hide out here, putting forth true good in science and robotics.
Gotta keep it a secret though, so...
Thank you, Sonic. Everyone.
A few years have passed and the Earth has been at peace since Ivo fell off the deep end. Wanted posters of Ivo litter the streets. Life was normal in Westopolis. Suddenly, the sky, which was once as blue as our titular hero, turned a dark and foreboding red. The clouds opened up as hundreds upon hundreds of aliens start pouring from the sky, spreading non-stop destruction. Gun soldiers are deployed, but they are just barely helping fight against this alien invasion. Their leader, Black Doom, descends from the sky.
Where is Shadow the Hedgehog?
One of the black-armed soldiers pins down a gun soldier, and Black Doom asks again,
Where is Shadow the Hedgehog?
Agent Shadow? He died a few months ago.
What?
Black Doom's rage roared out.
Black Arms, we have been deceived. The disgusting Earthlings could not keep their promise. Kill them all and find the Chaos Emeralds.
This is when all hell breaks loose. The destruction we saw in the intro cinematic of Shadow the Hedgehog, pebbles compared to what they're doing now. The Black Arms are pissed. Meanwhile, on South Island, Sonic, Tails, and Ivo are watching the destruction in horror. What's going on?
I can't believe it's been 50 years already.
Ivo?
The Black Arms returned already. This is what my grandfather was afraid of.
Ivo, what do you mean?
These are the aliens my grandfather cooperated with to create Shadow. He made them a promise he didn't want to keep, but he had no choice at the time.
What are we gonna do?
I have a plan, but we need all of the help we can get.
You don't mean...
Yes. We need to get Gunn involved.
But if they see you, they'll arrest you on the spot.
I have crucial information on the Black Arms and how to stop their reign of terror. If they arrest me without hearing me out, then the Earth has no chance of surviving.
Okay. Tails goes inside to use his communicator to contact Rouge. Yes, Tails? Make it quick, we're a little busy at the moment. Rouge! Ivo says he has a plan to destroy these black aliens. Probably not the best idea to bring Ivo here, considering. If he knows how to stop this, we don't really have any other choice, do we? Fine. But if I get fired over this, you're paying all my bills. Done deal! Sonic, Tails, and Ivo make their way to the tornado and fly towards Gun HQ. Our heroes arrive at Gun HQ and meet with Abraham Tower himself. Rouge, who's standing in the distance, keeps an ear out.
Ivo, you have some nerve showing your face around here. Tell me why I shouldn't arrest you now. I have a plan to stop the Black Arms.
I had a bad feeling that's what this was. Has it really been 50 years already?
I know, I hate it too. Makes me feel ancient.
I'll humor you. What is your plan?
We need to do what Professor Gerald originally planned. We need to gather the 7 Chaos Emeralds, repair the Eclipse Cannon, and fire it at the Black Comet.
Give you control of the Eclipse Cannon? No way! Out of the question!
But Abraham, I've changed! I've seen the error of my ways. Please, we need to do this to save the world.
Ivo, you tricked me into closing the Ark so that you could do as you please. You've destroyed islands to get the Chaos Emeralds. You've threatened the entire Earth in the name of peace, and to top it all off, almost crashed the Ark into the Earth because of your actions. And now you come here, knowing you are a wanted criminal, asking to essentially do the same thing, except now it's okay? Even you must see how ridiculous this sounds.
Abraham, take him away.
What?
His friends, too.
What did we do?
You harbored a criminal, almost as bad as committing the crime itself.
A bunch of gun soldiers grab Ivo, Sonic, and Tails and throw them all in a cell.
You're making a terrible mistake! This will mean the end of humanity!
Trust me, old man. We've got it under control. All of a sudden, Rouge sneaks out of one of the vents. She looks around and quickly and quietly unlocks the cell, letting Sonic, Tails, and Ivo go. You're letting us go? Of course I am. These morons don't know what they're doing. Now, take this holo communicator. Maria has sent out coordinates to where all 7 Chaos Emeralds are emitting their energy. We will find them.
Thank you so much, Rouge.
Save your thanks for when we save the world, eh, Ivo? Ivo smiles, glad to know that not every gun operative distrusts him. Sonic grabs Tails, Rouge, and Ivo and runs out of the base so fast and so far enough away that there was no way they could be followed. Sonic, Tails, Ivo, and now Rouge go into the tornado and fly off. Alright, we have the coordinates for the Chaos Emeralds. How should we split up?
First, I think we need to make a detour.
A detour?
We need all the help we can get on this. One more person can make this work way faster.
Now you're speaking my language. Our heroes arrive on Angel Island, right by the empty Master Emerald altar. Sonic walks up to a very angry Knuckles.
What do you want?
We need help.
I'm sure you've been seeing what's been happening on the mainland.
Don't care.
Come on, Knuckles, the whole world is at stake. We just need help finding the Chaos Emeralds.
Knuckles, we can certainly meet some kind of understanding. After we collect the Chaos Emeralds, we need to go up to the Space Colony Ark again to finish our mission. While we're there, there's nothing stopping you and maybe even Rouge from finding the Master Emerald shards while we're up there. You could restore it.
Knuckles thinks about this for a moment, and thinks hard. You'd almost see the smoke coming out of his ears, he was thinking so hard. Fine, but we're not leaving that Ark until the Master Emerald is restored.
It'll be a nice little date for the two of us,
Rouge says with a wink. What?
Alright, it's decided then. I will give you each locations to go track down the Chaos Emeralds in. This is a very, very crucial mission. So once we collect our respective Chaos Emeralds, let's meet back up at the lab. Judging by our combined intellect, Tails and I can definitely make a shuttle that can launch us up to the Ark, no problem.
Just like that, they were off on their mission. Sonic ran straight into destruction by making his first stop, Westopolis, the heart of the battle between the Black Arms and the Gun Soldiers. Sonic, avoiding them all, got his target and moved on. Knuckles traveled to the Glyphic Canyon. With his extensive knowledge of ancient ruins, he knew he was the perfect man for the job. Once again, fighting through Black Arms and Gun Soldiers, he obtains the second Chaos Emerald. Tails went to probably one of the most fun amusement parks of them all, Circus Park. Yes, I know that Eggman built Circus Park, so it technically shouldn't be here, but in this continuity, Circus Park could easily just be a regular old amusement park. No Eggman iconography anywhere. Tails avoids capture from the Gun Soldiers and obtains their third Chaos Emerald. Rouge makes her way towards Death Ruins, where she, like the others, fights off Black Arms and Gun Soldiers. The Gun Soldiers particularly surprised over Rouge's betrayal. She makes it to the Chaos Emerald, but unfortunately, she's not the only one to get there. Black Doom appears to collect the Chaos Emerald himself. Upon seeing Rouge, he quickly realizes,
You're part of the bunch that keeps stealing the Chaos Emeralds away from me. You filthy Earthlings are sneaky, putrid little thieves and liars. You deserve what is coming to you.
With a flick of his wrist, Black Bull appears. Rouge has no choice but to fight Black Bull on her own.
Well, this is what combat training is for.
Rouge uses her signature kicks to fight off Black Bull. Black Bull, however, is a powerful creature, so in a few instances, it got the upper hand. Ultimately, though, Rouge comes out victorious. It was a very close fight, however. Rouge, tired and needing rest, takes that damn fourth Chaos Emerald and flies back to Tails' lab. When Rouge arrives, she takes a breather by sitting on a chair in the lab.
Are you okay? Big alien. Big fight. Kicked its butt, though.
You truly are amazing, Rouge. We are 4 emeralds down and just 3 to go.
I have some bad news, though. The last 3 Chaos Emeralds are...
I know. I recognize the coordinates.
Where are they? The last 3 Chaos Emeralds are inside Gun's base. This was the easy part.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get in there and kick butt!
Rouge, where do we start? The first Chaos Emerald is outside their airbase. Defeat their air fleet, and that's 1 Chaos Emerald.
That sounds like a job for Tails, our master pilot.
Aw. The second emerald is kept in a secret room in the gun base. There will be a lot of guards protecting it.
That's my move. I'll beat up as many Gun Soldiers as it takes.
Alright. And then the last Chaos Emerald is kept at the heart of the base. We need someone who can run in and out of there as quickly as possible.
You might as well say that it's a job for Sonic. Rouge smiles.
By the time you guys are done doing all of that, Rouge will be well rested and the rocket to the Ark should be ready.
With that, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles hop in the tornado, giving Ivo and Rouge one last salute, and they take off towards Gun HQ. Alright guys, after we finish our objectives, we will meet at the rendezvous point. Understood. They arrive at the air fleet, getting shot at all angles. Shot at by gunships, shot at by turrets on the side of the gun base, Black Arms that may happen to be there. Tails' pilot skills are really put to the test here, but in the end, Tails finds a safe place to drop off Sonic and Knuckles, and takes the 5th Chaos Emerald. Sonic and Knuckles run through the gun fortress fighting off the hordes of gun soldiers, Knuckles really taking out his anger on them. They find the secret room that was shown in the coordinates. "This is my stop. See you at home." Knuckles runs into the secret room, grabs the 6th Chaos Emerald, and then fights his way out to go to the rendezvous point. Sonic uses his super speed to run as quickly as he can to the center of the base, arriving at the heart of the gun base. The Chaos Emerald is nowhere to be found. All of a sudden, a robot emerges from the shadows, powered by the Chaos Emerald. Out of it comes the voice of Abraham Tower.
"Sonic, why are you helping that traitor?"
"He's not a bad guy. He was just misguided. Why can't you trust him? Weren't you friends?"
"I'm not letting him threaten the world again. If you want this Chaos Emerald, you have to take it from me."
Sonic fights Gun's most powerful mech robot, Diablon. Though it took a very, very, very long time, Sonic eventually destroys Diablon and takes the Chaos Emerald from within him, getting them their 7th Chaos Emerald.
"No! Stop! Please!"
"We're begging now? If you just trusted us, we wouldn't have to break everything."
"Please! He already ruined Gerald's legacy. I'm not gonna let him ruin Shadow's!"
"What?"
"He took advantage of Gerald's death to enact his power-hungry plan. Letting him do the same thing again will make Shadow have died for nothing."
"This time is different. He's seen the error of his ways. All he's had in mind is the safety of this planet the entire time. In a way, using the Eclipse Cannon for its intended purpose is ensuring Gerald's legacy is secure, as well as Shadow's." Abraham lays there, unmoving, thinking. "Not for nothing, Abe, but you and Ivo are pretty similar."
"What do you mean by that?"
"Grief makes you do crazy things." With that, Sonic runs out bringing the final Chaos Emerald to the rendezvous point. "Mission complete? You know it!" Sonic holds out the Chaos Emerald. "All right, let's head back to the lab." With that, they fly towards the lab.
"Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, just in time! The ship is finally complete. Our two-way ticket to the Space Colony Ark."
"How's Rouge doing?" "I did some push-ups, some sit-ups, and drank plenty of juice, and I'm feeling a lot better now." "That's great! Space Colony Ark, here we come!" Using their new space shuttle, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Rouge, and Ivo arrive at the Space Colony Ark. The Ark is covered in rubble and is in complete shambles. Geez, Chaos sure did a number on this place.
"There's no time to waste. Let's get to the cannon's core. I need to repair the Eclipse Cannon as soon as possible."
After getting to the center of the Ark, Ivo gets to work. It only takes him a few quick minutes to repair the Eclipse Cannon. He's had the blueprints for this machine committed to memory ever since he was a small child. After he finishes repairing the Eclipse Cannon, he inserts all 7 Chaos Emeralds into it. Well, that was easy. All of a sudden, Black Doom emerges from the ground, laughing maniacally.
"Thank you so much, you pathetic fools. You have brought me all 7 Chaos Emeralds. I guess you guys did keep your promise after all."
At this point, all 7 Chaos Emeralds are floating around Black Doom's head.
"I won't need them for long. Chaos Control!"
The Black Comet warps down to the Earth, implanting its tendrils into the planet.
"Now there is nothing you can do. We've won, and humanity will become our slaves. Or would you rather become our food?"
He laughs maniacally once again. Black Doom starts making his getaway. Sonic chases him throughout the ruined corridors of the Ark, and eventually catches up to Black Doom, just enough to be able to get the Chaos Emeralds from his clutches.
"It doesn't matter. We've already won. What are you going to do? Shoot the Eclipse Cannon at the Earth?"
"I can't just give up. I need to try! For the Earth! And for Shadow!" With that, Sonic transforms into Super Sonic.
"I see. You too can harness the power of the Chaos Emeralds. It means nothing against my true form."
Super Sonic zooms out of the Space Colony Ark and starts going straight for the Black Comet. In his way, however, he gets stopped by Devil Doom.
Oh?
And I was afraid this was gonna be too easy. Supersonic begins fighting Devil Doom. Meanwhile, a horde of black-armed soldiers start attacking the others at the Space Colony Ark. They are getting overwhelmed, fending them off. There's just too many of them. As things look grim, they hear a distant gunshot, stopping everyone in their tracks, including the Black Arms. The gunshot came from none other than Abraham Tower.
You black alien scum, get off our planet!
Behind him was as many gun soldiers as they could fit in their biggest shuttle.
All right, men, charge!
The soldiers all charge around Abraham, fending off the horde of black-armed soldiers. Abraham makes it up to the front, near the Eclipse cannon controls.
Abraham, you're helping me?
The world is more important than my petty grudges. You're the only chance we've got. Ivo smiles at Abraham, feeling their friendship start to ignite once again.
Sonic, you need to bring the Black Comet up to the Eclipse cannon, away from the Earth.
On it!
After a long and arduous battle, Supersonic finally gets the upper hand and defeats Devil Doom once and for all. Supersonic grabs the Black Comet and flies it back up to space, right in front of the Ark.
Ivo! Now!
Yes, all according to plan.
Ivo pushes the button to fire the Eclipse cannon straight at the Black Comet, blowing it to smithereens.
It's over. It's finally over.
You did it, Ivo. You saved the world. Sonic arrives back on the Ark.
Gun? Don't worry, Sonic. They helped us.
Sonic looks at Abraham and smiles.
I came to my senses. Now let's get back to Gun HQ. We need to debrief. That means you guys as well.
Oh, us?
Yes. Meet us back at Gun HQ. Wait a minute. I said from the beginning, no one is leaving this Ark until the Master Emerald is restored. I mean it.
And thus, the painstakingly long Master Emerald search began. As soon as they were finally done with that, they all returned to Gun HQ. What the main crew weren't expecting, though, was to be televised.
These 5 people you see up on the stage right now. Sonic the Hedgehog, Miles Tails Prower, Knuckles the Echidna, Agent Rouge the Bat, and last but not least, Dr. Ivo Robotnik. They were all criminals. They threatened the Earth, harbored criminals, went against orders, and trespassed onto government-owned property.
Yeah, I guess we did do all of that, huh? Tails whispered to Sonic.
Despite all of that, however, they are responsible for the continued safety and freedom of the planet Earth. This is why we award them all Distinguished Service Medals for their extraordinary heroism. For one of you, however, we must especially highlight the brains of the operation. Dr. Ivo Robotnik. At one point in life, you were Gun's most wanted criminal. You single-handedly threatened the Earth in the name of peace. Yet, you showed today that you truly care about the Earth and have its best interests at heart. We recognize you not as a criminal anymore, but as a national, no, worldwide hero. And I'm proud to call you my friend. Abraham.
A roar of applause and cheers flood not only just the room, but the entire Earth. The story of what if the gun raid never happened is finally over. Whew, boy, that was certainly a lot. What did you guys think? Did you like this Ivo redemption arc? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe. We have another Sonic What If planned, but that probably won't come out for a while. If you guys have any ideas for what ifs, let us know. Next week we will be reviewing Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone for the PlayStation 1 in celebration of the release of Hogwarts Legacy. If you're impatient though, make sure to become a channel member and you can watch it right now. Links to our merch store and social media are in the description below, and to you, our well-esteemed guest, I bid adieu.